I learned something new this week in Go Formative. An English teacher wanted to know if Formative gave students the ability to reflect on their own standards progress. So we talked to Go Formative, and this is what we learned. This is the student dashboard of Formative. They have formatives, which is just a list right here. They can filter that list by classes over here because the list can be very long if several teachers are using it. And you can sort it by title, last updated, or last assigned. So the cool thing is that there's also a tab up here for standards. So if you have tagged standards to other questions in formative, they will come here as a list. The students can sort by class and they can find the standard they're looking for and they can see how they're doing. And once I click on it, it opens over here to the right hand side and I can see which ones I got correct and which ones I did not get correct and kind of use that to help me study. It's obviously something new that we've learned, but if anyone's interested in doing this and trying this out, we would love to help and kind of see what it looks like on your teacher side. Have a great day.
Recently, I learned about this power lesson, Poetry Gallery Walk, from Marcus Luther and also Jennifer Gonzalez from the Cult of Pedagogy. And in case you missed this, I thought it's something that many of you would be interested in. So, Luther is a high school teacher, but this is something that I think would be fantastic to do at the elementary as well and also middle school. I think that it would be a fantastic collaboration with our library media specialists. I think it is a great way to zoom in on Danielson 2A and 2B, creating an atmosphere of respect and support and also a collaborative community. And most importantly, I think that it's something that our students need right now. The way Luther sets up the lesson is that it's a very affirming atmosphere for the kids. And also, I think it's a great way for students to express themselves. Gonzalez, as she looked at the feedback that students gave each other, she commented that it was such powerful feedback and wanted to know from Luther, how did he do it? So let's take a look at what is here. So within this, you do have the interview between Gonzalez and Luther, as well as you have the steps that he went through. He talks about the assignment that he gave to the students. He talks about how he provided feedback first to model it for the students. He speaks about creating the space. I picture the libraries at the elementary level, and of course, the library at the high school level as well would be a great space to do this. He talks about a day of norming and framing, and he zooms in on 4 ways to affirm. Let you see those for a moment. And then finally, in step 5, he talks about how he created closure as well. So again, if you are looking to have your students provide some powerful feedback to each other and also to help create a very affirming space for one another, this is a great post that is worth your time. He also at the end speaks about this quote, which spoke to me as well. And he also in the post talks about how to contact him if this is something that you'd like to reach out to him. You can find him on Twitter and you can also email him. For the blog and post, check out www.cultofpedagogy.com, Poetry Gallery Walk.
So this is an update to one of the tools I mentioned Google was releasing a couple weeks ago, and I just figured out that I didn't tell you everything you needed to know to use it. So I talked about task lists, and that's this little symbol over here where you can add different tasks. So you can see, for instance, on my upcoming videos list, I have 2 of them that are a week overdue. So when you add things to your task list, you can simply click add a task, or you can even drag emails over there and make them tasks. So that really was the purpose of this video. The purpose was to show you that you can now see how many tasks you have that are past due in any view that shows you the day view of your calendar, or the whole day view, so week and day view. Up here at the top of the current day, you'll see tasks that are pending. The way you get that to appear up here is by, in your calendar list, making sure that your tasks calendar, which is one that's created automatically by Google, is checked. That'll do two things. One, it'll put this overdue pending task thing up here. It'll also show you on your calendar actual tasks and when they're scheduled. So you can see them as events, even though they're in the task list. But the best part about it is when this appears up here, you can click on it and you'll now see all of your tasks that are past due, the date and time that you scheduled those tasks to be done. And you can say, I already finished that, and check it off, or click the edit button to go in and change the date of when it's due or add more details to that task. So that's the pending tasks or overdue tasks notification that's now available to you in Calendar.
This week I learned about the website, the Teacher Toolkit. Thank you to Tom Hopkins, our assistant principal at Gowanna Middle School, and Lisa Kissinger, the academic administrator for social studies at the secondary level. The Toolkit gives you a whole bunch of engaging instructional strategies to utilize in your classroom. They're categorized on the top. But when you click on one of the instructional strategies, it gives you a very brief video on what it looks like in a classroom and a description of it. And I've already utilized it in my planning, as I'm going to teach a block for our early childhood education class at the high school, which is really teaching our kids how to be teachers. Just to show you 4 ways I implement it in the classroom. The first one I used was a consensogram, where you give every student a Post-it, you pose a question, and you let them pick their answer, and then you kind of compare. These are Robert Marzano's abbreviated ideas on what makes a classroom the most engaging. The next strategy I used in this lesson was the 3-2-1 strategy, and I wanted to expose these young teachers to the Danielson rubric, and I wanted them to read what she thought an engaging classroom was. So I wanted them to find 3 things that they learned, 2 things that they found interesting, and 1 question that they had about the rubric. The next strategy I used was the Classroom Mingle. I actually wanted to give the students 15 to 20 minutes to explore this Teacher Toolkit website and the resources that were inside of it. And after that, I wanted them to do a Classroom Mingle, where they're sharing which ideas or strategies they found the most appealing in their research. And the last one I utilized was the 1 minute sentence, and it just give them 1 minute to write and pose them a question. How has today's class impacted your definition of engagement? Some really great instructional strategies on that site. I hope you give it a look.